Imagine living in a neighborhood with top-of-the-line amenities, clubs to occupy your time, and several hundred residents similar to age to you. Sounds pretty great, right? Well, not everything in a 55 plus community is going to appeal to everyone. Some people are chomping at the bit to turn 55 so that they can move into one of these communities. But of course, there are people who are adamant about avoiding them at all costs. So why would you not want to consider living in a 55 plus community? Hi, I'm Sarah Maslowski, a local real estate agent right here in North Georgia, and I help people from all over the country relocate here to Georgia. If you're considering a move to Georgia, I want to be your real estate agent. If you are searching in an area that I can't help with, I can put you in touch with someone who I know and trust will help you make this move as seamlessly as possible. We have several of these huge amenity-filled 55 plus neighborhoods right here in North Georgia, and we've seen a big increase in retirees coming to the area. So why would you not want to live in a 55 plus community? One of the first things that might keep you from living in one of these retirement communities is the cost to do so. You are going to pay a premium to live in a 55 plus community, both for the price of the home and for the HOA fees. Let's take a look at house prices in some of the most popular 55 plus communities. At the time of filming this video, the average sales price of a home in Village at Deaton Creek is $504,000. Crestwin at Lake Lanier's average is $627,000, and then you have Del Webb's Chateau Lawn, which was $568,000. In Village at Deaton Creek, you're going to pay $3,300 a year in HOA fees, $4,068 a year at Crestwin Lake Lanier, and then right about $3,500 in HOA fees at Del Webb's Chateau Lawn. In Crestwin at Lake Lanier, you can find properties ranging all the way up to just shy of, get this, $1 million right now. That is crazy. You're paying a pretty steep price per square foot most of the time in these communities, like almost double what you would pay in some cases in some of these equivalent neighborhoods in these areas. Now, the caveat to this is that you don't have to take care of your own lawn, and you have some really amazing amenities right at your fingertips, not to mention all of the clubs and social committees that come with being in these neighborhoods. You're also getting access to indoor pools, outdoor pools, pickleball courts, tennis courts, book clubs, community gardens. You got coffee groups, all kinds of different activities to help keep you active without ever having to leave the community. Someone made a really great point about the cost of all of these fees if you look at it over the course of your life. If you move into Crestwin at Lake Lanier when you're 55 and you pay $4,000 a year, that's $40,000 over the span of 10 years. And by the time you're 75, you spent over $81,000 just in HOA fees to use these amenities and have someone cut your grass. They would rather live in a non-55 plus community with smaller amenities and HOA fees and put away that money to leave to their kids one day or to use for trips and vacationing. If this is not applicable and you want to spend the money you have worked hard to earn, now just go for it. Some folks feel like their money was going to waste paying for these amenities that they didn't use, but if you don't think you're going to take advantage of them, it would be a better idea to look in another neighborhood that doesn't have such steep fees, and you would then just pay someone to take care of your yard. In the grand scheme of things, it's not that expensive compared to some 55 plus communities in other states where you can pay $1,000 a month alone in HOA fees. Or if you're in a townhome community right here in North Georgia, paying $1,000 a year that only covers maintenance and one small pool, the HOA fees don't sound that crazy based upon the amenities that you get. Another downfall to these expensive HOA fees is the fact that they are going to be very strict. I get comments just about any time I mention HOAs from people who say that they would never live in a community with an HOA because they don't want to be told what to do with the house that they own. In most neighborhoods in Georgia, you're going to have a bit more relaxed HOAs, but in 55 plus communities, you can expect them to be more on the strict side. You'll have board members that live in the community and spend their time cruising around on their golf carts, patrolling the neighborhood, and making sure that everything is just as it should be. These communities are absolutely beautiful to drive through. There's never a blade of grass out of place or a weird color house because the HOA is keeping close tabs on everyone. Something we also hear complaints about in these communities is just that, members that drive around patrolling the neighborhood and keeping an eye on everyone. I helped a client move into one of these neighborhoods, and she said that one of her biggest complaints is the nosy neighbor. It is a retirement community after all, and most people are retired, and their new passion when moving into these neighborhoods is checking up on everyone because they have nothing else better to do with their time. They are quick to tell you if your trash bin was at the bottom of the driveway for too long, or ask you where you were going if your car was gone overnight, or who was at your house if there's a different car in the driveway. Again, some people love this about these neighborhoods. People like to feel seen, they like the sense of community, so having someone check in on you is a perk to a lot of people. Some retirees thrive in a community with set rules because they don't want to hear people outside at night having company and being loud. They want everyone to wheel their trash can back to the garage an hour after the truck comes through, and they want to know who is coming into their neighborhood to visit. Like all things we'll talk about today, it's all about perspective. If you find yourself being annoyed by nosy neighbors, you may want to reconsider. If you are the nosy neighbor, you will most likely thrive in one of these neighborhoods. Most of the neighborhoods have around 80 to 100 different clubs. That is a ton of opportunities to learn a new skill, spend some time working on a hobby, or meet new friends. However, some residents complain that these groups can feel very cliquish and they have kind of like a hard time infiltrating these groups. They complain that these communities can feel like high school all over again, with everyone broken into groups like the jocks and the nerds and the cool kids. Other people love being able to find people with the same set of interests right in the area that they live. One thing that some people struggle with in these communities is the lack of diversity. People will often make the comment that they just don't want to be surrounded by other old people. There is still quite a range of ages from 55 to however old the oldest member of the neighborhood is, but someone made the comment that they did not like living in a neighborhood where it felt like someone, was just dying regularly. They also miss seeing kids playing in yards, and they liked having families of all ages around them, and they felt like it kind of helped keep them a little bit younger. In most of these communities, people under the age of 55 can only visit for a capped amount of time. Typically, you're going to see this set at around 2 weeks. This means that if there was a major event that took place and someone needed to move in with you, this would be a problem, or you're going to have to get HOA approval. On the other hand, someone said they were glad not to have to listen to kids playing outside all of the time. Grandchildren are allowed to come over and visit and use the amenities while they are there, but someone said they felt like they were doing something wrong by bringing their grandkids to the pool one afternoon. They could feel some of the other residents kind of like annoyance. They felt that energy coming off of them just from being there. It all depends on what you enjoy. So what do you think? Are you going to mark 55 plus communities off your list, or does this sound exactly what you are looking for? Let me know in the comments below. And if you haven't checked out this video all about 55 plus communities in North Georgia, well, you have to check it out.